Hello everyone. Welcome to a new kit reveal. I'm very excited for these. We're finally digging into the Kanto IDs, and oh boy, what's some to start on? We've got Fanghunt Office Fixer Hong Lu, and then we have the Vampire Barber Otis, which I've been seeing has been getting a lot of love. Very good. Always love to see it. But let's go ahead and dig into what we've got today. Starting with Hong Lu, we have a Gluttony, Pride, and a Wrath. We got all three blunt. And starting off, it looks like we've got a Rupture ID. So, skill 1, we've got Slam. If the target has X plus Rupture, gain coin power. On hit, inflict Rupture, and on head's hit, inflict Rupture. Doing the same thing on the second hit. So, we're inflicting 4 separate accounts of a Rupture. Very nice. That's a lot of Rupture application. Nice, easy breezy, and simple to start. Skill 2, we've got Bone Crusher. Love it. If the target has X plus Rupture, gain coin power. On use, if the target has X plus Rupture and Y plus Rupture count, the skill does not inflict Rupture or Rupture count, but gains coin power. Oh, if the target is a Bloodfiend or a Blood Bag, gain more coin power. Ooh, interesting. We don't get that often. A specific call out to Bloodfiends or Blood Bags? That's actually pretty cool. Now, admittedly, that does mean that the ID is more niche, because you can only get that to proc against Bloodfiends or Blood Bags, and that'd be Mirror Dungeon. But, at the same time, it's just extra. Like, on top. I mean, usually, if it was like other IDs, the skill would just be, yeah, if you have enough Rupture, gain coin power, and then you don't inflict Rupture account, but you gain coin power, yada yada yada, and then we'll just end there. So it's just a little bit extra on top, just cuz. I like that. I appreciate that. And also, these guys have some of the best looking aesthetics in the game. They just look like frickin' Bloodborne hunters. I love it. Now, moving on from that, on the Clash one, we're also inflicting Rupture count. On the first hit, we're inflicting count, and on a head's hit, we're inflicting more count, so lots of count going out, which is great. And then, we're hitting, on the hit, on that second hit, we're inflicting Rupture, and HP healing down. We're seeing that come up again. Of course, understandably, you don't want Bloodfiends to be healing, because they have a bunch of healing built into their kits, so actually really nice to have. I mean, if you're doing a Mirror Dungeon run and it's going to be very heavily Bloodfiend themed, why not take your Fanghunt IDs, because it seems like they're going to perform very solidly, especially if you're already running Rupture. And then finally, the skill 3, 3 coins, a Cheerful Hunt's End. If the target has X plus Rupture, gain coin power. If the target has X plus Rupture and Y plus Rupture, the skill does not inflict Rupture or Rupture count, but gains coin power. And if they are a Bloodfiend or Blood Bag, gain more coin power. On the first hit, we're inflicting Rupture. On the second head's hit, we're inflicting Rupture. And then on that third hit, if the target has X plus Rupture, or if the target has less than Y% HP, reuse this coin. So we have a coin reuse. Very nice. So we can get a double slam out of that third coin there. Very nice. I like it. Hey, just seems like a very straightforward, easy breezy kit. I like it. On that defense skill, it is Wrath. We don't actually see that too often. Combat start, lose bleed potency. Interesting. I love it. They are leaning so hard into the built to counter Bloodfiends, so much so that they can remove debuffs on themselves just by using their skills and stuff. I love that. More flavor is always great to me. I love when flavor can be worked into kits. And I just think it makes it way more interesting. And yeah, does it make it more niche? Yes, but you know, it's not going to be the only source of bleed through the entire game's history. So even if they add other enemies that are not Bloodfiends, you're still going to be able to get some use out of that. Of course, it's niche, but hey, niches are fun. Not everything has to be a meta-defining, good at everything character or team. Now on that passive, how to hunt cheerfully. If the target is a Bloodfiend or Blood Bag, or the target has X plus Rupture, deal more damage. On skill use, if this unit has bleed, inflict rupture on hit. Yeah, again, countering those blood fiends. And of course, just to make sure you still get a passive if you're not fighting blood fiends. If you have enough rupture, you're dealing more damage too. But mostly if you're fighting blood fiends, blood bags, and if you have bleed, which is going to happen if you're fighting them, you're inflicting rupture on hit even more so. So lots of rupture. Love it. I want to see how this ID performs number-wise, but I feel like it's just going to just unload tons and tons and tons of rupture on the target if they are a blood fiend. And then finally, Bloodfiend Hunting Manual Styptics. I don't know what that word is. Combat start. One ally with the highest sum of bleed and potency and count loses bleed count. When one ally with the fastest speed hits an enemy with rupture, inflict a defense level down. That's actually pretty solid. Okay, so yeah, it's nice. It's you splash them in, and say you're fighting blood fiends and blood bags, but you're not bringing a rupture team. Well, you're still going to get some use out of them. Oh, sorry. Huh. It is very early in the morning, so bear with me. But that is it for Honglu. As we are on to, of course, at least for me, the more exciting ID. The Barber of La Manchalan Outis. Oh boy, that's a lot of text. Okay. We have 3 slash skills. We have Gluttony on the first, Gluttony on the first, Lust on the second, and Wrath on the third. First, we're going to start off with Sowing, 2 coins here. On hit with this skill, I expected this, heal X% of the HP damage dealt. Very solid to have self-healing. I love it. On use, consume up to X Blood Feast and gain Y Blood-Tinged Scissor Blades for every Z Blood Feast consumed. If this unit did not consume Blood Feast, gain Bleed count. On use, gain coin power for every X bleed on target. On that first hit, we're inflicting bleed, and if the target has sowing target, inflict bleed count. And on the second hit, we're doing the same thing. Already off to a strong start. So we've got HP percentage healing, which is always super strong. We've got consuming blood feast to get a buff called Blood-Tinged Scissor Blades, and then also we're getting more coin power for bleed on the target. Inflicting both potency and count is always a bonus, so that's great as well. Let's move on to that skill too, with Scission. On hit with this skill, heal X% of the HP damage dealt, same as before. On use, consuming that blood feast to get Blood-Tinged Scissor Blades, same as before. And then also, if the target has bleed, gain coin power. On that first hit, we're inflicting bleed and inflicting more bleed if they have sowing target. Same with the second hit. And then on third hit, we're inflicting sowing target. So it looks like you're going to have to do the skill 2 first to put the sowing target on something, and then you can get all of your, you know, big crazy buffs and bleed stacking and all that craziness against them. And then finally, the skill 3, 4 coins on this one. I'll make you a new dress. Thank you, Outis. You know, we are already healing based on our HP max percentage of the damage dealt. And before the attack, at X plus 10 Scissor Blades, gain attack weight. At X plus Blood-Tinged Scissor Blades, gain more attack weight. I am sorry. So just like the Barber boss fight, this has attack weight on it. Oh my lord, that's already very good. Let's see what else we have in there. On use, we're getting more coin power if they have bleed, and also gaining clash power for every X bleed on target. Always love the double dip. After the attack, we're consuming X Blood-Tinged Scissor Blades for every attack weight gained. And after the attack, if the target is killed, increase Blood Feast. Regain half of Blood-Tinged Scissor Blades consumed by this skill. If the target is a sowing target, increase Blood Feast and further, and gain Blood-Tinged Scissor Blades again. On the first, second, and third hit, we're inflicting bleed, and on that fourth hit, at X plus Blood-Tinged Scissor Blades, we're dealing more damage, and at X plus Blood-Tinged Scissor Blades, we're dealing even more damage. This is our nuke skill, an AoE nuke skill that inflicts a ton of bleed and also increases our Blood Feast. Yes, please. I think this skill is going to be really great. Based on what we know from Ryoshu and head-made Ryoshu and other IDs like that, and Spice Brush Ising, IDs that can increase their own attack weight through just their skills are very strong. They are very usable and solid, and you should be using them unless you're running a specific team comp. So already looking at this kit, I think Outis is going to be a very solid pick, and also you're gonna be going for her anyway because you want her for that Bloodfiend team with Dawn. So grab her up. What are you looking at me for? Grab her up. Oh, I'm sorry, we still have passives to go over. Oh, I was already sold, but sure, no problem. We'll do our due diligence. We have a counter skill, quite discourteous. Blah. Word soup. On use, at X plus blood tinged scissor blades, gain base power, and at X plus blood tinged scissor blades, we're gaining more base power. And then we're also gaining coin power for every X bleed on self, and we're inflicting bleed count. That is a fairly solid sounding counter skill. That's the thing with counters, is if it's not going to give you any form of survivability, you better hit back whatever's attacking you really hard. And I feel like this is going to hit very hard. So as much as I'm not the biggest fan of counter skills either, I think the counter might be really solid. Especially if you're getting hit by something that, you know, you can't clash with, or something that you have no like foreseeable way to clash. You're still going to get some damage in there at the end, which can make the difference. So yeah, it is what it is. Now for that passive, we have Blood Feast. If this unit is on the field, or if is one or more units that can appear on this stage. Increase Blood Feast value by the amount of bleed damage collectively received by every unit since turn 1. When this unit enters the field, the sleeping blood drenching the... What? When this unit enters the field, the sleeping blood drenching the battlefield will surface. What does that mean? That sounds dope. Like, I had to read that a few times. It's like, the sleeping blood drenching the battlefield will surface. That is so foreboding, but also so cool. I love it. That has to be a mechanic. Okay, right here, this passive, pay very close attention to it, because this is going to be something I expect to see going forward with a lot or even all of the Bloodfiend IDs. We're probably going to be getting a lot of, if the unit is on the field or can appear, increased Blood Feast. And also, I assume when this unit enters the field, the sleeping blood drenching the battlefield will surface, whatever that means. So, awesome. We're stacking bleed damage. That's all you gotta know. Passive. We have a second passive. Ah, okay. My mistake. Blood Feast is the passive that everyone's gonna get, for sure. But the second passive, Wrong Costume, is the one that Outis will have specifically. In a clash against sewing target, gain clash power. On hit, deal more damage for every X total Blood Feast consumed by self, and on hit, deal more damage for every bleed on the target. Nice, easy, breezy. By the way, did you know we're stacking more damage? Because we're stacking more damage. If you didn't get that from the other 4 instances of stacking damage on a bleeding target, well, we're stacking damage. So, yeah, get with the memo. Get with the memo. We're stacking damage. And then finally, that support passive. Don Quixote Hard Blood Arts 8 Scissors. I don't know, guys. I mean, what could it mean? Like, I mean, I'm not sure what it's implying. It's a little vague, but something tells me I think Don Quixote is a really strong blood fiend that has hard blood arts. Like, it's a freaking demon slayer demon art. Actually, it is pretty much freaking blood art. It is blood arts. Goddamn. One ally with the fastest speed. If the enemy is killed after attack, heal HP. That's actually pretty great. One ally with the fastest speed. If the enemy is killed after attack for the next turn, inflict bleed count when inflicting bleed potency with skill or coin effects for the next turn. If you're running a bleed comp and you're not using Outis for whatever reason, This is pretty solid. And also, just, yeah, healing on kill. You're the fastest speed ally. Also pretty solid. I dig it. And of course, before we move on, we have some passes. We're back to 2-page IDs. Let's go. Okay. Sewing target. Take more damage for every bleed on self. Reduced at turn end. That's actually really good. Is Outis actually starting off here? The first member of the team also going to be one of the most important because she sets the damage buff on the target. Or I guess it would be more a debuff on the target. Yeah, no, because look, it doesn't matter what game you play. If you can put a thing on a target and make it take more damage, it's probably insanely good. So you're gonna put this on the boss, or you're gonna put this on a high-profile target, and then you're gonna nuke it down, and it's just going to die, and it's gonna be great. Besides that, though, we have Bloodfiend Scissor Blades. Add X plus Bloodfiend Scissor Blades, convert to Bloodfiend Scissor Blades 2. And then X plus Bloodfiend Scissor Blades converts to Bloodfiend Scissor Blades 3. Reverts to the previous tier when stacks drop below a certain requirement. Bloodfiend Scissor Blades does not drop below 1. At Bloodfiend Scissor Blades 2, gain offense up and defense level down for every X stack. And then at Bloodfiend Scissor Blades 3, gain offense level up for every X stack. So we have offense level stacking as well. Sure, we might be hurting ourselves a bit with that defense level down, but if we're destroying our target and they never hit us, I mean, there's no issue there, is there? And then finally, we have Blood Feast, which, like I said before, the Blood Feast passive is going to be on every ID that is Bloodfiend related, and we're going to see exactly what it does, because it stores all bleed damage dealt during this zone. Resets when moving to a different zone. This value is shared by all characters. If there is a higher kindred among the allies who consumes Blood Feast in the same turn, the unit cannot consume Blood Feast until that ally consumes it first. So we're making kind of a trickle-down economics situation where the one at the top gets all the Blood Feast, and then as you go down the line, then the little serfs and peasants can have their pittance of Blood Feast. Which, honestly, for the way these kits are going to be working, very fair. Because I assume Dawn is the one you want to be having the Blood Feast consumed all the time, because she's going to be the most powerful by far. And the other allies, whatever they fall in that power threshold, they're probably going to have stronger abilities to warrant them using it first too. So there we go. With that, though, that brings me to the end of this video. Very excited for these IDs. I am very highly anticipating the next set, because we already know what's coming. If you haven't seen the leaks, we know what's coming. I'm not going to spoil it, but I'm very excited for it. So with that, this is where I'll leave you for today. Thank you for joining me on another kit reveal. Do hope you're enjoying your Kanto 7 journey, and also appreciate all your support that you're giving me. Thank you again, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Bye bye.